Good morning. I just wanted to talk to you guys about why Easter season is so uh, special to me. Um, 25 years ago, I was living in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I was very happy with my life. It was great. I was married, had a wonderful husband, four lovely daughters, a great job doing what I like to do. And so life was good. I was a good person. Um, I didn't go to church, but that was okay because I believed in God, and that's all it took. At least I thought. I was hoping I'd go to heaven if I died because, as I said, I was a good person. Um, and people would come up to me and talk to me about Jesus. I didn't like that. A couple gals in particular that I worked with would come up and talk to me about Jesus, and I'd be polite, and then as soon as they left and I turned around, I was just like, oh, I wish they'd just leave me alone. I believe in God. Why do they keep talking to me about Jesus? They're pushing it down my throat. I didn't like that at all. But anyways, so then I got our whole family got picked up and moved to the Twin Cities in Minnesota. None of us were happy about it, but because of my husband's job, it was one of those things we had to do. And it was hard on all of us. One of my daughters was a junior in high school, and she was just crying and crying, and therefore I would cry because, when your daughter's hurt, you're hurt as a mom. But anyway, so we moved up there and found a lovely home, and so we're just like we're going to make the best of this. And a couple weeks after moving, I discovered that we had moved across the street from a pastor. And I'm like, I was not happy about hearing that. I just left these Jesus freaks in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and now here we are across the street from a pastor, and it's like, I don't want to hear about Jesus, so I hope he doesn't bug us. Then I find out that one of their daughters is the same age as our youngest daughter, who was 4 years old at the time. And I thought, oh, great. Now they're going to want to play. And so I'll have to have interactions with this pastor. And so um, that spring, this pastor comes across the street and he knocks on the door and offers my husband, he says, hey, we have this church play and it's called the Passion Play, and would you guys like to go? And my husband said, well, I'll talk to my wife and I'll get back to you. So we talk about it, and I said, tell him no. I don't want him to start pestering us, okay? So just tell him no, we're not interested. We don't go to church. We don't want to go to church, and we believe in God, so we're good. Just leave us alone. So my husband told him, we're not interested, so, but thanks. Thanks for the offer. So he left us alone for the most part. And the next spring rolls around. Here comes this pastor again to our front door. Jerry answers the door, and now he's got tickets in hand, 4 tickets to this church play, this passion play. And he gives them to Jerry. And Jerry says, oh, well, thank you. And so when Jerry tells me, he gave us these 4 tickets, I was livid. I was like, why can't he just leave us alone? And so we both thought, Jerry and I thought, well, maybe if we go to this thing, then he'll leave us alone. And so we decided we'd go to this church play, which, by the way, was on a Saturday night, which I was not happy about. Who wants to go sit in some church on a Saturday night? The day came, it was Saturday, and I was in a bad mood all day long, knowing that we had to go to this church play tonight. And so we took two of our daughters along, and we go to this play at this church. Well, to my surprise, it was not a play, it was a production. There were 400 people in this play. There were live camels and horses and goats and sheep and music. The music was beautiful, which I love to sing, so I appreciated the music. It was just beautiful. And I found halfway through the play, I found myself really enjoying it, and I thought, well, this isn't as bad as I thought it'd be. Then came the scene where Jesus gets nailed to the cross. And our seats were such that here was us, and we're right there. There's the cross. I mean, it was right there. And I looked up at the cross, and the actor on the cross, was playing Jesus dying. And the next thing I knew, when I looked at the actor's face, it wasn't the actor, you guys. It was Jesus. I know that sounds weird, but I was looking at the face of Jesus, and Jesus opened his eyes and he looked at me and he said, "Lynn, come to me." I know that sounds freaky. I was there, I was 42 years old at the time, and my life was good. But here's Jesus saying, "Lynn, come to me." And I started weeping. And I get down in my purse. I have one Kleenex in my purse, and I'm sobbing. And my daughter nudges me, and she says in my ear, "Do you have a Kleenex?" And I look, and she's crying. So I pass this Kleenex that I'm using to wipe my tears to her, and then she gives it to my other daughter. So the three of us are passing back and forth this one Kleenex. But something happened to me that night. My life was changed in that moment. What I had thought was my life was great, it became changed for the good. Like if great isn't good enough, it became better. And for the next 24 years, I have been on this journey with this man called Jesus, who lives. That's what Easter is about. He died on that cross, but he lives because he was resurrected from the dead. And he lives right here now. Because that night I invited him to come into my life, into this body. He invited me, and then I in turn invited him. Now, there may be those of you out there that are maybe kind of going through something similar where, you think your life's going along okay, it's going along fine, but there's something in you that is missing something. There's just, you can't put your finger on it, but you're like searching, you're trying to find that missing part. And maybe what you're missing is a relationship with the King of Kings. I know that's what I was missing, and I didn't even know I was missing it because I wasn't looking for him, but he was looking for me. And he found me, and he met me that night, just the way I was, sins and all. Now I thought I was all that in a bag of chips. Sin? Oh, I'm great. I'm perfect. I'm good. No, I wasn't. I wasn't. If you've been wondering what it is you're missing, maybe the Lord is calling your name. Maybe this very day, he is saying to you, whatever your name is, come to me. I want a relationship with you. And so why not? Why wait any longer? If you think that's what it is that you're missing, I'd like to pray with you. And so just close your eyes and let's just pray, and you can repeat after me, or if you can just repeat in your head or your heart or out loud. So let's just close our eyes. Lord, I know I'm a sinner. I'm not fooling anybody. I know I've sinned against you. And I hear you, and you're calling me, and you're telling me, come to me. You desire a relationship with me, just as I am. And I want to invite you, God, to come into my life, to become a part of me, to have a relationship with me. I want to know you. You already know me, and you love me. I want my life to change. I want to get rid of the things that I know are wrong. I want to follow you once and for all. Will you help me, Jesus? I ask this in your name. If you've prayed that prayer with me, and if there's people that have tried to talk to you about Jesus, maybe it's time to not ignore them anymore. Maybe it's time to listen. If you don't know anybody, if nobody's ever tried to talk to you about Jesus, would you please personal message me? I would love to answer any questions you have, because I know I had a ton of them. before I came to know really who Jesus is. And I say is because he's alive. Now, is my life all a bed of roses now that I've really accepted Jesus as my personal savior? No. I still have trouble. I still have problems. I still have family issues. I still have arguments every now and then with my husband. But because I have a relationship with Jesus, he understands everything I'm going through. Because you know what? He went through so much more on the road to the cross. He was beaten. He was mocked. He was spit upon. He was cursed. I've never gone through any of that. I don't know about you. But whenever I am going through problems in this life, I actually have someone that I can reach out to. And he comforts me, you guys. He comforts me in a way I've never experienced before. So as I said, feel free to private message me. I'm not going to judge you. Even if you disagree with what I'm saying, I get it. And that's fine. I just pray that the rest of your day is blessed. And I pray for you right now that you will open your heart and give Jesus a chance in your life. It's a matter of life and death. Thanks for listening.